Part 2 of the 23rd of June 2024. It's 9:12 p.m. We got cut off because my iPhone storage ran out and it's so bloody annoying. And on top of it, I've had to delete some quite lovely videos that I wanted to actually keep to try and get storage back so I can continue. So this is all very irritating to my mind. But anyway, I'll carry on where we left off, which was I was reading to you from 23rd of June 2015, and I was telling you about my dream about being up a gigantic tree that I thought was like, the Viking Yggdrasil or the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. And trying to see exactly where we were up to when we got cut off. Was that where we got cut off? I'm so tired, I can't keep track of things. So when I get interrupted like that when I'm in my flow, it really throws me for a bit of a loop. Just bear with me for a moment. I've got to regather my thoughts. Feel like I'm going to faint. It's that fucking frustrating. But anyway, where are we? Communing. I remember reading that bit out. All right, so I'll read that sentence again. 2015 of even date. I wonder if it was Yggdrasil or the Tree of Life. It was white like a silver birch, but its trunk was meters wide, whereas silver birches tend to not be very, they're quite slender trees. A very ancient tree who had seen many lovers and old lonely wise women before. Another dream from several days ago has stayed with me. I was busy designing a garden bed. I had many pots of herbs and flowers in those tiny pots you get from nurseries. I looked down at the ground. The soil was black, loamy and healthy. The plants were all wilting and yellowing and strangled, like I'd forgotten to plant them in time. In the dream I was fretting over this, thinking that they might die anyway. Then I planted them all out, about 20 pots, and I fussed over their bound roots and told them, "Don't die, it's all gonna be okay now." I then planted them in the garden bed in a sort of zigzag, diagonal fashion. Zigzag, diagonal, that's actually a rune. Just realised that now. So I get these images in my dreams and they don't always make sense in that moment. Must look up what that rune is and we'll know the meaning, won't we? I delighted in the soil, running it through my fingers as I planted each pot out and sort of sang and hummed as I planted. Then the dream showed me what the plants turned out to be like, and they were gorgeous, all blooming and flourishing with joy and vitality. Then I thought, well, there you go. I didn't think they would make it. That's a very potent dream given only 2 months later in 2015. Yeah, exactly 2 months later, I attempted suicide. So here was kind of a precognitive, the dying plants, but then seeing them thriving and me saying, there you go, didn't think they'd make it. It was a beautiful dream as I felt such pleasure in bringing the fullness of life back to the plants. So those are the dreams I remember. I hope they help. 10:47 a.m. Been out in the garden. Ate a noodle, onion, egg stir fry to assuage my hunger, then checked for eggs. None. Geez, girls, get busy. Then raked the garden, then had a hack and a cough. Now back in bed. Schmeh, might as well try to sleep again. 10:02 a.m. Tired but hungry. Should I haul ass out of bed, go grocery shopping at Aldi now, or sleep and do all the shopping later? Decisions, decisions. I have to go to Capalaba for laying mash, pick up some scripts, and visit Lynn in the afternoon. Might try to do it all later. In the meantime, I'm going to fry an egg. 23rd of June 2014. I posted that I read it out yesterday in yesterday's readings about my Ojibwa Meduan friend, healer friend, who was working on my energy to heal me in the hope that I might find a true love partnership. And back in 2013, 2012, I think it was, he was working on me. That partner, or that new romance didn't manifest till 2014. And then he was a false light. He definitely was not the one. He was just nothing but callow and vicious and sadistic. And but I got trapped in some kind of psychic vampiric type love bite where I couldn't detach from that man. It took me, well, it's 10 years ago now, but it took me about 6, 7, 8 years to start to detach from him, and only then because he'd kicked me in the guts yet again with my former friend, who I refer to as Creature, Sarah. So it was just awful, and that happened in early 2020, I believe, or was it early 2019? Anyway, it doesn't matter now, it's years ago now, but it's taken me that long, 4 to 5 years to recover from the awfulness of that man, which is why I'm both excited and stimulated and trepidatious, but at the thought of falling in love again, but wary because circumstances aren't quite right. But the romantic flowing of energy to me is beautiful, and I accept with grace the love that is shown to me in recent months. And a true loyal friendship is more valuable than a love affair that goes sour and horrible very, very quickly anyway. So there is that. But that's the damage that they did to me, those people, that I even fear falling in love and having a lover again. I actually fear it because they were so cruel. It was uncalled for and unnecessary what they put me through. It really was. I mean, apart from the pap smear comment, which was actually an accurate description of how he treated me. He carried on treating me like that for, another 6 years, 6, 7 years. So, fuck 'em. Fuck 'em if they can't take a joke, am I right? Anyway, I've posted that whole story again, but I'm not going to read it out because I read it out yesterday. I don't even know why it got repeated here again. It's a bit odd. I must have got muddled with things, as I sometimes do. Yeah, verbatim read that out about the little stallion. But anyway, we're in 2014, and after I finished that, I posted, for fuck's sake, I left the gas oven on again. Just found it on 200 degrees Celsius. Another epic gas spill. Furious with myself. My grandmother Eva put her head in her gas oven to kill herself in Germany in 1949. On the 8th of March 1949. Nowadays you can't even smell it. Lucky I don't smoke. Fuck. I had an uncle get blown up at a petrol station. This is getting creepy. At least the gas was lit, but oh my God, the bill. 2:33 a.m. I watched a French film, Clara and Me, on SBS On Demand. Poignant. Then I hung out on Paltalk. Time to take my euphoria to bed before I explode into a cascading Technicolor skyrocket. Soul's on fire. Love it. A lot. 24th of June 2012. Bella's been barking mad tonight, all evening actually. She seems to be very sensitive tonight. A long walk tomorrow might be in order. Watching True Blood Season 5 episode 2 and loving it. Sons of Anarchy on TV this week also. Happy Tanya now. 23rd of June 2011. Feeling bitterly cold tonight. Need to put on heater. I made a fire in the brazier early tonight to burn up old rotten wood and some sticks and did a few loads of washing. Don't feel like hanging out washing now I'm so cold. Oh well, I could be sensible and put on a jumper. Thank you, Lynn, and big hugs and huge thank you to Peter, who has made it possible for me to write this message and interact with the wide world web again. You rock. From the comments section, Missy wrote, Missy is Lynn Sloan's daughter, eldest daughter. You crazy? Don't hang out washing. Too cold and get a jumper on. Lol. 2 degrees here tonight. Brr, nuts. She lives up in Toowoomba. I wrote, I put on cardi, went out, hung out washing, brr, and tried not to breathe open mouth to avoid cold in my already strained chest. But for some weird reason, I'm enjoying my moments of icy awakenings in the dead of wintry night. Lol. Suicidal ideation or what? Just reckless sometimes. Whatever makes you feel alive, Tanya. Lol. And I replied, I haven't felt so alive, with genuine moments of what appears to be genuine happiness in many, many years, and I want more. It's a whole new paradigm for me. I hope it means life will get better and I don't fall into those dreadful holes, one of which I only recently and painfully climbed out of. But such is the life of the Tanya. All good. It's very cool that you do that. I do other versions of the same thing, but can't say feeling the cold is one of them. Some of them are a little twisted and weird, so I won't tell you, but whatever works. She's a good girl, really. She's a lovely girl. How about another coffee bean off your tree? Did the trick for me. What? Coffee bean off your tree? For the strained chest, I mean. Explanation. The between the skin and the bean of the coffee bean is really sweet and delicious. So I found out at Tanya's yesterday. Compliments of a unique personality who invited themselves to sit under Tanya's shady tree. Interesting times at Tanya's. Life is so full of surprises. Yes, that was my crazy Romanian neighbour that he's since died, but he was weird. He was a nutter, actually. And he could be a real pest, and he could be very threatening to me, actually. But we must have been on good terms in that space because he sat under the tree and chatted to us, because I probably indulged him because although he was loop the loop, you know, he suffered from terrible loneliness, and I kind of get it, you know, as we're aging. No one wants to be around you. You're just seen as just disposable. Yes, that was rather an unexpected interchange. He hasn't bugged me today, so I'm pleased he hasn't taken my open friendship and honesty and run with it. Last time I was friendly towards him, he started banging down my door late on Friday nights, asking me to drink with him. So it seems he has learned that I don't want such an intimate connection with him. I could have told you about eating the coffee fruits earlier, Lynn. I thought you already knew. My friend Mervyn told me that in Papua New Guinea, the tribesmen think white people are very odd for wanting the beans or seeds, as they eat the fruit and spit out the beans, lol. Funny how perspective changes from one culture to another. I must remember to make a tea out of the skins once a week for my combination oily skin. I learnt that from the neighbour. That was something new I hadn't known before. It's simply amazing how, if you are open to people, how much you can learn just by connecting and conversing. I must say, I learn something new every day, and I love it. Shura shenanigans are starting to be stymied at long last. That's my mother's con artist stepdaughters. Hello all. Well, good news is I picked up my diamond nose ring today and it looks awesome. The better news is, although a tad trivial compared to my happiness over my new jewellery, lol, which I took out of my nose and I've got to replace my nose ring, otherwise, is Shura has made an absolute ass of herself with my lawyer, spinning out of control and being a nasty pest. So, the adjournment she asked for today is not going to happen, and court will decide without her tomorrow. Also, threatening emails she writes to my lawyer will be tabled tomorrow. So things are not going to look too balanced in her favour at long last. My neighbour will let me know how things go tomorrow. For the first time in a long time, I'm seeing a positive swing in my direction. That rotten woman has gotten away with way too much for way too long. Once it is in the hands of the Supreme Court, we will ask for an independent administrator to take over Mum's affairs, which will be much fairer and things will get finally done. I dare not get too excited until I know the judge agrees to transfer to Supreme Court tomorrow, because after 15 months, we are still only at the first stage of a very long process. That's how badly they screwed me over, by the way. So I try not to hold my breath, considering my asthma is bad right now. I might just suffocate, lol. But soon I will be able to breathe again when I can see justice is finally being implemented and control is wrested from surer hands. I feel like a terrible weight, the scourge of the damage and mess created by Mum under Alzheimer's and Buck Shura's rule is finally being sloughed off. I actually have had some truly happy moments in the past few weeks, so perhaps my energy healing, my resignation that this court case would have to resolve itself without my emotional turmoil, so I can live in peace and harmony, and my earnest request to the universe for sufficient funds to purchase at maximum my home, or at least a nice little car, is finally being heard. Who knows? It's in the hands of Hashem, and he will decide what is mine to keep. A car with a number plate that equates Ein Sof. A car with God's name on it. Oh, the irony. You will own nothing and you will be happy, babies. But I do own my car. But, the paintwork's all scratched off because they did a shitty paint job. the year that that car was produced, so there is that too. Another robbery of a kind. And on we go and on we go and on we go. I can't live on wish fulfillment, but it doesn't hurt to put in a request and to manifest, manifest, manifest. God is good, has always seen me provided for one way or the other. And the recent and very strange events in my life the past few weeks shows me she, he or it is still in the process of clearing my life and energy of old useless crap that is just so much useless deadwood and unnourishing stuff for me to learn to slough off. I am being transmuted, cleared, and hopefully with enough inheritance, I'll get a nice spit and polish as well. A new tooth, $8,100. New bed and mattress, newish car, whatever I most need to see me through for the next 10 or so years until I die from my sleep apnea. And here I am, trying not to die from my sleep apnea, but that was a bit fucking prescient what I wrote there. I really didn't think I would live much longer than 10 years. Just seeing what year this was. (2011), 10 years was 21, nearly died 22, was very ill, nearly died 2019, was very ill. So here we are, 2011, 13 years later, and I'm still not dead, and I'm still fighting with everything I have, which ain't very much, but I've got complete supernatural energy reserves gifted to me, that were gifted to me last night during my dance. It was powerful and life affirming and healing, and I'm grateful to the gods and to my beautiful friends who create a space for me to have that wild dance. I'm very grateful. It was a bit odd that no one came to share the dance floor with me, although people did dance, but on the periphery, which I don't know why they do that. I was calling them to come and dance with me, but they felt too intimidated or shy for some reason. I don't know what that's about in that club. In the Brooklyn Standard, it's packed, wall-to-wall people dancing. In this club, they all hang back and prefer to watch me make a gigantic fool of myself. But I don't care about making a fool of myself because I'm dancing my wild shamanic dance and living my best life. But sometimes it feels a bit kind of awkward that they won't come and dance in that space with me. It's a bit peculiar, but you can't force people to dance with me. There's nothing I can do about it, but it's just odd. I've noticed that pattern when I've danced there in recent months, that they're a bit reticent. Where was I? I just want to live comfortably and securely in peace with whatever happiness I can find for myself or create from within until I die. And I have been very creative since 2021, since I literally put a prayer out to the gods to help me survive the COVID epoch because I wasn't coping. Money would just be a bonus. I have a lovely home to live in and a beautiful garden, wonderful friends, 2 beautiful, amazing daughters, and my pets. I am already abundantly rich. Oh, and if I get enough money, I might even get my eyes lasered, as I find wearing glasses such an almighty pain in the ass. But wishes are free. and I've got the beginnings of cataracts now, so I don't even know if they would do laser surgery under those conditions. My neighbour, who is quite mad and watches me day and night and is Romanian, came over to chat today as I was outside with Lynn chatting. I didn't like to freeze him out like I usually do, given it was obvious he was dying to have a chat too, and knowing how craziness and loneliness makes people behave oddly, I decided I would do a kind thing and include him. He was so happy he brought Lynn and I a huge bag of mandarins from his tree, and he observed I had passion fruits growing, so I promised him some. He also commented that the flying foxes ate all his coffee berries, and I showed him my small, newly transferred tree, but he said there weren't enough berries to make coffee. But Lynn told him she had 6 trees at home full of berries and promised to give them to him so he can make his own roasted coffee. So I was pleased because, as I stated, there's no point growing beautiful edible landscapes if no one uses them. He'd stopped gardening, he said, because the possums and bats take all his fruits. So Lynn told him about our trick of using men's toilet deodorizers that they use in public men's toilets in stockings tied to the fence or tree to deter them. He was so happy to hear of this that he offered to marry Lynn if they worked. I said, how romantic, a romance based on toilet blocks, and started giggling. I said, you'd have to get rid of her husband first, and I don't think he'd like that idea at all. It was really quite amusing. Today I won $21 on the lotto, which I rarely play, so I find gambling so pointless. But since I had an actual win, I decided to put $9 back into the cesspit of hell to try to win the $30 million lotto tonight. I can't believe I actually won any money at all. Maybe my luck is starting to improve. I need all the luck I can get, not just for lotto, but for my life to finally be resolved and a fresh new start and a positive attitude to see me through the next phase of my life. Crondom, empowerment, wisdom, radiant beauty from within, peace, strength, and abundance. Oh, and yeah, that love thing. And thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. I'm just going to quickly go and look for that rune that I described in the dream earlier, because I'm pretty sure there is a rune. It's going to hurt me to get up, so just bear with me. There is a rune with that patterning, with the zigzag crossing over like that. And Jared made the most beautiful runes for me. He might not come dancing with me or come to gigs with me and just be a friend and hang with me and under those circumstances, but he's a wonderful friend in so many other ways that I love him dearly and I'm grateful, but I'm a bit hurt. Sometimes I choose to be a bit hurt about things. I get over it, but I won't ask him again. I've asked him 3 times to come to the Koala Tavern, so I won't be asking him to do that again. It's beneath my dignity and embarrassing. So this is how things get chipped away at until the friendships take on a different flavour or ultimately end, which I hope doesn't happen, by the way. Yes, here it is. Oh no, wait. I've got to make sure that's the exact one. before I say, wait, because it's a symbol of fertility, and it's impossible for me to, long time impossible since 2007, for me to bring forth a child, but I guess there's other forms of fertility and abundance. No, that's pretty much the rune. I'll just show you. Can you see it? This one. Okay, this one here. Ingvars? I don't know how to pronounce it. Keywords, fertility, keywords, pregnancy, inner growth, virtue, peace. Ingvars is a rune of fertility representing the earth god Inga. It points to male fertility, common virtues, common sense, well-being, strength, family,